going on, MMA Nerds? Today I wanted to give you guys some UFC 153 predictions. And yeah, so this coming Saturday is going to be UFC 153. It's going to be in Brazil. And so basically give you a little background on what happened. Originally it was going to be Frankie Edgar, my boy, hometown hero from New Jersey, versus Jose Aldo, the champ at 145. And you know, it was the first super fight the UFC has seen since GSP BJ Penn, and yeah, everyone was super pumped. You know, the MMA world was going nuts. You know, Aldo, Edgar. You know, everyone thought Edgar had a good chance on the front, basically dethroning the Anderson Silva of the 145-pound division. But as all professional athletes should not do not ride motorcycles. You know, get a driver or drive a car, or get a Prius. You know, just don't participate in any sports like snowboarding or, you know, anything, jet skiing, because you're gonna get hurt. You know, and your livelihood is on the line. So, you know, wait until after your prime. You know, a fighter's career is not that long anyways, and then you can do all the crazy extreme sports you want, like Cowboy Cerrone becoming a professional wakeboarder. But yeah, so that fight got scrapped, and another co-main event, Glover Teixeira versus Rampage Jackson. Rampage's last fight in the UFC basically got scrapped too because Rampage got an injury, or he saw his YouTube highlights and realized that Glover Teixeira is actually a freaking beast. So yeah, I don't know. Well, now the whole thing's changed. So basically now, Anderson Silva stepped in on short notice and will be fighting Stephan, the American Psycho Bonnar. Everyone scratched their head when they saw this fight. You know, trust me, I love freak fights. You know, I paid to watch Jose Canseco fight a 7-foot Korean guy, Hong Mang Choi, and you know, it's fun, but it's not fair. You know, Anderson Silva is pretty much the greatest fighter of all time. I put Fader up there as well, but he's fighting a guy who's basically never fought anyone in the top 10, maybe Forrest, you know. But he didn't fight Forrest when Forrest was considered a top 10 light heavyweight. He's a big guy, he's a grinder, I love Stephan Bonnar. You know, he's an awesome, you know, fighter who's always going to fight hard, always going to put on a show, you know. He's always getting bloody. And, yeah, no, I mean, he's got a lot of size on Silva, but, you know, unless Silva has a freak injury or Bonnar, you know, takes a page out of Chong-Li from Bloodsport and brings some, you know, pepper dust into the ring and he throws in Anderson Silva's eye, you know, and I don't see this happening. You know, I see Silva finishing him with a TKO, either round 1 or round 2, you know. I mean, look at how UFC is promoting it. They're basically either not showing Bonnar in the promos, or they're just making fun of it, which I think are very hilarious, where Forrest Griffin was giving Bonnar advice saying, you know, it was really funny, you know, they're just making a joke of this. But, you know, Bonnar has an outside chance. You know, I think what I would do is try to get him to the ground. Anderson Silva's probably only weakness is, you know, his takedown defense. So get him on the ground and just smother him with his weight. You know, that's what I do when I go to jiu-jitsu. I just basically lay on people and just, like, you know, just try to, like, you know, smother him with his weight, kind of, you know, go for some submissions and just basically kind of lay and pray on him. But, you know, he's going to need a prayer. But got Silva on that one. Next fight would be Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, Big Nog, versus Dave Pee-wee Herman. I like Herman a lot. You know, he's had some rough luck in the UFC. You know, he got busted for marijuana, and then his second test came back, and he didn't smoke, and he was suspended, and he was reinstated. But he's back now, and Nogueira's actually had some bad luck too. He got his arm snapped with a Kimura by by Frank Mir in his last fight, and he got a surgery, and it was disgusting. But yeah, so they're both coming off losses, and I just think Nogueira's more experienced, and he's just a superior fighter. He's gonna better than him on his feet, on the ground. I just see Nogueira just basically attacking on the ground, and eventually taking him down to the ground and finishing with some jiu-jitsu. I would love to see the old school Nogueira fighting off his back, with landing a triangle, but I see him just being on offense the whole time, so I doubt he'll be on his back. So Big Nog will finish this fight, but with a submission in round 2. I say armbar. Next fight is Glover Teixeira versus Fabio Maldonado. So Glover Teixeira is basically, he's the next big thing in the light heavyweight division. He's only had one fight in the UFC. He dismantled Kyle Kingsbury. It was a devastating performance. But yeah, he's still he's only had one fight, but he's scary. You just check his highlights. He basically just stands in there, just strikes, and he's a devastating striker. He likes to stand in the pocket and just throw bombs like missiles, and I see him taking out Maldonado. He's tough, but he's just going to overwhelm him with offense. So I got to go with Teixeira with a round 1 TKO. Next fight would be John Fitch versus Eric, the Brazilian Justin Bieber Silva. The Justin Bieber's looking good right now. He's finished a lot of fights. He's got a great physique. He's explosive. He's young. He's got a great head of hair. He's super just striking. Looks legit. But John Fitch is he needs a win, and I think he's going back to the drawing board, and he's going to go back to the it's not that he never left, but he got caught against Hendricks, but I think he's going to use a similar style as John Fitch, grinding, put him in the meat grinder, just offensive wrestling, and just smother him for 3 rounds. So I got to go with John Fitch, decision, 3 rounds. Despite most people picking Silva in this fight, I think he derails that hype train. Next fight would be Phil Davis, standout Penn State wrestler, versus Wagner Prado. I gotta go with Davis in this because wrestling is, you need wrestling, and his wrestling is superior. And I see him just taking him down, keep on taking him down, and I don't think Prado has a takedown defense to deal with that. And it's going to be another performance such as Fitch, a 3-round decision. Last fight on the main card would be Damian Maia versus Rick Story. Rick Story's I've been a big fan of his. He's like this tough, explosive, American wrestler, who uses wrestling to set up his striking, and I like his style, And that said, I think Damian Maia dropping to 170 was a good look, and he's looking good. I think Story's, he was looking better before, but now he's kind of on the decline. So I got to go with Damian Maia. I don't think he's going to use his jiu-jitsu, even though he's probably top 3 jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world. But I think he just outstrikes him, believe it or not. Yeah, that's it. That's the last one. So hope you guys have a nice weekend. We got another UFC. It's always good to watch Anderson Silva fight. He's calling out GSP, but honestly, please, we want to see him fight John Jones. That's the fight everyone wants to see. Dana White, you're the boss, make it happen. But yeah, enjoy the fights, and have a good weekend. Peace, MMA nerds.